welcome to Cosplay Tea Time, a fun community of cosplayers where we record podcasts for you all to enjoy, whether it be about a certain fandom, anime, whether it's about the art of cosplaying, holidays, or today's topic, colors! Yay! But before we get into today's topic, I want to introduce our guest and tea sippers here, starting with...
Excuse me. Hello, I am Springy. Shocking, I know. I go by he, him. We have a list now, so I have to go through the new list.
Yes.
Social medias are the real Spring Travel 123 on the Instagrams. Things just Spring Travel 123 on TikTok. Oh wait, no, it's the real Skeleton Man on Instagram, and then the skeleton. I had to change it, so my brain cannot remember it. But also doing interviews. All my stuff is on there.
There you go.
Just go to any of the demon interviews thing. That's something that's just all demon interviews all the time on everything. Literally on everything. We made sure we had the name on every single social media platform we could find. Even Tumblr. We don't use it, but it's there.
Oh, and then
and being the Batman who laughs.
Ooh,
He's very smiley, as you can tell.
Yes, very, very smiley. Springy's probably like frowning on the inside. On the outside, he's smiling. Alrighty, well, welcome. And as always, I am Jen, founder of Cosplay Tea Time, as well as today's host. I can be found on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at JenPeriodCosplays45, excuse me. I go by she, her, and today I'm cosplaying one of my OCs. Is a very casual cosplay. He has a very mighty fine suit, but his name is Steven. And he is a mix between dark and light, what is good and what is evil. So I decided to make his themed color gray. And I even have like a little gray scrunchie. So I was so happy when I saw it. I was like, oh, I need to wear this for today. So yay, we got intros done. So let's move on to our fun little icebreaker questions. We just have two this time around. We're going to start with our first one being, what is your favorite TikTok audio that you have used or you like using?
My favorite TikTok audio that I like using. That's a hard one. I flip around a lot. Since my content on there is either, well, most recently it's just me posting art that I've gotten people to make for me for money. But whenever I do the cosplays, normally I do like darker audios or just the silly ones. So I don't actually have a favorite right now. I'm the one I have like the most plans for. I know it's not technically the question, but just so I can give an answer, is the heat miser, cold miser audio thing. I'm excited to be able to do that one.
Eventually. I'm gonna work on it, promise. Because I think I have the same audio saved under mine for after I finish your commission and stuff, and then we'll get it. So no worries. Let's see. Favorite TikTok audio to use. I feel like I use the song "Dandelions" by Ruth B. I'm not gonna sing it because I don't want to get copy strike, but I use that a lot because I cosplay a lot of feminine characters. Yes, it's very nice, very flowy. Sometimes I use like the Sakura filter. I know it's not dandelion petals, but it's fine. It's a flower. It's fine. So yes, a lot of good audios out there. Let's see. Next up, we have, what is a food that you want to learn how to cook?
I want to learn how to cook. A food I'd like to learn how to cook. A lot of my favorite foods I have been learning recently how to cook because my mom gets home from work at like 5:30, so I usually have to start it or at least or concoct it in one way or another. So I have been learning how to make some of my favorites, but like before that started happening, baked ziti, oh, delicious. Like sausage, noodles, cheese, red sauce. Oh, it's delicious.
I'm like salivating. Trying not to get
So
into the
am I,
mic. You can't tell.
Haha.
Oh. Oh goodness, yes, that sounds excellent. Especially after the rainy day we've had today, like just warm pasta in a bowl sounds amazing right now. Sounds so good. With a piece of garlic bread on the side. Springy, what have we done?
Oh, oh, that
Oh
sounds
no.
delicious.
Oh goodness, a food that I've always wanted to learn how to cook. I'm gonna go the pasta route. I'm gonna say lasagna. I don't know if it's
Ooh.
exactly the same, but it has like all those different layers. Like there's so many different steps and whatnot. But
Mm-hmm.
whenever I have lasagna, I feel like it's like the best thing ever on the planet. So that concludes icebreakers. At least for now, we always have a lot of fun questions, and we have more. But first, a little commercial break for our viewers out there. So this is if this is your first time joining our lovely tea time hour, welcome. Again, Cosplay Tea Time is a place where cosplayers take a break from, sewing and making little TikToks and whatnot. We, have some tea, some beverages. That's so adorable, Springy. Oh gosh. We just take some time, kind of sit and chat about different topics and themes. And then, folks out there are able to take a break as well. Or maybe you're sewing and watching this at the same time. More power to you. Then, you're able to listen to us. You can respond to us in the comments. We'd love to hear what folks have to say. So, if you're a fellow cosplayer out there and you want to join Cosplay Tea Time, make sure to message us on Instagram. There's a link tree down below with all kinds of goody stuff. We've been updating that. So, just message us on our Instagram. It's the easiest thing right now to get messages, and then we'll get you squared away in our Discord server. So, lots of good stuff. Just want to say thank you everyone for supporting me. Thank you Springy for joining me. Such short notice, but we're gonna get it done. So that's all I have, at least for now. Oh no, wait, there's more. Talk about the color gray. Yay! It's definitely become one of my favorite colors. So,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. So a little bit of history about the color gray before we go into our questions. Starting with the color gray is mixed from black and white. Uh, the color gray was first discovered many, many years ago in I'm going to pronounce this wrong, so I apologize in advance, Laxix caves in France. Pretty sure I butchered it, but some caves in France. Uh-oh, my power's fucking. Color gray was found in many other periods, such as Middle Ages and the Renaissance, and mostly found in pieces of artwork. The more shine the color gray had, the more meaning it had, whether it was spiritual or to draw the person into that one particular element. So if it was shiny, it meant that it had something important to say. Gray was associated with the poor, as they could not dye the sheepskin, the wool, to make their clothing, leaving it a natural gray color. In recent times, the color gray has faded into the background, usually used in stones, statues, and buildings. It is not considered as a fun color. Most would think of it as boring, drab, and uninspiring. However, the color gray is rising in the automotive industry. Gray in cosplay is used for suits and armor. So that's a little bit about the color gray. So we're going to start with our first question being, what is your favorite shade of gray?
My personal opinion is that I like a lot more like shiny grays. As you can tell by my plastic mask, my rubber
Mm-hmm.
mask, um, like this type of gray is very much but it's very dark gray.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I swear there's more gray than just my mask. There's some on my
Yeah.
the shirt on
Mm-hmm.
shirt. But yeah, it personally I really like shiny grays, like metal gray stuff like that. That's my personal opinion
Mm-hmm.
on that.
Attracted to the shininess. Love it. Um,
Like a bird.
let's see. Color gray, favorite shade. It's so hard, but I think I am gonna go for like the lighter gray, like just a very soft, almost natural, kind of like a little bit lighter than this sweater or something. It's funny because whenever I was thinking about it too, I have a gray cat. He appears in my cosplay account sometimes because he's the Meowinger and all that. I have a gray cat, and he kind of has like dark fur, and then it goes to like lighter fur. Like he has like an ombre coat. I'm like, well, you should just join the recording. and come back in here. But he's upstairs taking a nap, so perfect solution for a rainy day. Alrighty, next up we have you ever wanted to dye your hair the color gray?
No.
No? Mm.
But that's probably because, and I don't know if you'll touch on this or not, but
Mm-hmm.
the color gray, for at least hair color wise, most of the time is shown to be older, like much older.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably, at least in my personal opinion, why I don't dye my hair gray.
Yeah.
Um, because it's seen more as a negative hair color than a lot of other ones. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like gray and kind of like the grayish white that you were kind of talking about. Those type of
Yeah.
hair colors are seen more negative than a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the others that are seen more positive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably that's at least my one of my reasonings why I haven't dyed my hair gray.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, even just like streaks of gray. I think when I get older, and if my hair does go gray, I think I'd probably look pretty cool. Maybe not right
Mm-hmm.
now. Maybe if it was like gray and like another color, like blue or something. There was like streaks of like a grayish silver or something. Like that would be really pretty. Oh, did I
Mm-hmm.
freeze? I saw my screen freeze.
No, you're still here.
I'm still here?
I'll
Okay. Now I'm
You're still here with me.
paranoid.
Welcome to my life.
We've had such high winds today. It's like,
You like took our weather. It was supposed to be rainy here today, and it's not. You
it's
like took our
rainy,
rain.
windy, but it was perfect for today. We're gonna get into that weather.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I do want to get like a gray wig someday and just cosplay an old person or something. Just have fun because I have like a little apron or something. If there's like a gray hair color, gray haired character I ever see, totally gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see one day. Alrighty, next up we have what clothing item best represents the color? Like, what's a gray clothing item that you like to wear or see?
Hmm. I believe I said the same thing with black, but gray with most colors pretty much matches with a lot of things. So it's very easy to just put it on something and match it either being a shiny gray or like a light gray like sweater or something. Though in my opinion, sweaters and gray are like really good in my opinion. Um but yeah, that's my personal opinion. Sweater mainly, but like it really works with anything, you know? Like kind of like black because it's a very similar
Yeah.
well, it's black mixes into gray. So like uh, um but yeah, so that's my personal opinion on that.
Yeah, that's totally fine, totally valid. I'm wearing a gray sweater. That was like part of my answer, but the other thing is a nice, comfy pair of gray sweatpants. Especially after
Mm,
cosplaying for most of the day, and you take off your cosplay and you put on your sweatpants and your sweater. It's like, oh, the best feeling ever. No, so yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of good gray stuff out there. So
mm-hmm.
a lot of good gray. Alrighty, next up we have what mood fits the color gray?
My opinion, I keep on saying my opinion. There's
Yes.
anything Jen, put a counter,
Share.
and
Share.
then be like, no.
Oh no.
uh, but my personal opinion is that oh my god, my brain. That gray is much more of a somber tone for types of emotions, like much more like sad and stuff like that. Not as much as blue, and mainly how blue is portrayed in media. But like Blue Diamond and Steven Universe, Sadness and Inside Out, all of them being blue. The two characters I mentioned, both
Oh,
having the powers of sadness and or
oh,
represent sadness in one way or another. But
yeah.
gray, I also see as much darker and somber tones, mainly in my opinion, because of when it's raining outside, you think it's more like sadder
Yeah.
weather. So and the skies are a lot gray. So yeah.
Nice. Yes. As I was saying beforehand, we've had a very gray day. Woke up to gray clouds and, lots and lots of rain. So definitely like very dreary, drab type of feeling
Mm,
with the mood, the color gray. But then I look at Oliver and I'm just like, he's so cute. He's gray. Like I couldn't imagine him in different colors. So it's like I get kind of torn between it.
Yeah.
But I've always liked the color gray because like growing up I couldn't have like that many black t-shirts because like, well, you're gonna go through a goth phase and all this stuff. So I would wear gray to kind of just like be like, well, I'm wearing like half the color, wearing white and
Hmm.
black and stuff. And also too, it makes good accents within stuff. So but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely just like very dreary. I think of the book Wuthering Heights. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's like classic literature, but where the character is like surrounded by just like gray clouds like all the time throughout the whole book, and he's just so depressing. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the color gray. So that's a good stuff. Alrighty, next up, this one's a fun one. What food or drink fits the color gray?
Hmm. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think gray food is that like there's an episode of SpongeBob where the crab like they were like mass producing Krabby Patties, but they weren't as good because SpongeBob. But when people at one scene they bit into the Krabby Patty and the insides were just gray.
Oh,
So because obviously it was not the true authentic Krabby Patty, and
oh,
SpongeBob canon loves the Krabby Patty more than life itself.
mhm.
But but yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. But also sometimes a lot of meats, like when you cook them, they turn more of a grayish color than what it is depicted in media, being a lot more like browns and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So that's so yeah, I guess I'm just gonna say burger.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, to tie in the meat aspect, and then I'll do a cartoonish type of meal.
Hmm.
Fish has like silver scales, like gray scales. There's also oysters. I'm not a fan of oysters, but I thought I'd bring them up.
Hmm.
So they have like
Yeah.
that gray color to them as well. And the film I was thinking of was Beauty and the Beast during the song "Be Our Guest." Whenever Gaston, the Candlestick Man, is like, try the gray stuff, it's delicious, and like, Belle takes a fingerful and like licks it off her finger and stuff like that. Like I was like,
Hmm.
as a child, I was so fascinated. I wanted to know what the gray stuff tasted like more than I wanted to be in the library, but that's a conversation for another time. So, but yeah. So you got the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast.
Perfect.
Alrighty, next up we have what character best represents the color gray?
Um, so I can see better. Um,
Be like,
it's like
now see.
talking with my eyes closed. It's all my masks. It's like I can't see. It seems. Um, but the color gray of characters. A lot of time, gray is more used for villains. Most of the time. So, and mainly like skeletal characters or like knights, like stereotypical knights, not like Jean. Jean is
Sean.
white and gold, but like most media versions of knights are very gray, chrome, metallic-y
Mm.
colors. So, um, not a lot of pure white knights in media, except for like that one. I'm pointing up because that's where my armor is. That's why I'm pointing up there. Um,
Should be pointing down. See, yeah.
um, but yeah, like skeletal characters also a lot of time they can be associated with the color gray as well. So I don't have one character, but I have a subsection. I have skeleton knights. There you go.
There you go. Hey, whatever works. um, let's see. I was trying to look at gray characters, and I really don't have any. But I did make armor pieces for Nora Valkyrie Volume 7 out of a cardboard. I remember using a lot of light gray paint and then like dark gray for the decals around it and all that stuff. And then I don't know if like Crow Bronwyn is grayish,
Hmm.
kind of ish, a little bit ish. So you have that character as well. And yes, lots of characters wearing armor. I see you, Springy. So cute.
Very good.
Go ahead, Springy.
No, it's one. I'm dressed up as a version of Batman. I didn't say Batman.
Mm-hmm.
How did I not say Batman?
Oh no.
I'm literally a version of Batman. I did not say Batman.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's okay.
It's like, I didn't say Bat. Like, as soon as I finished, I was like, I
You
forgot
got it
Batman.
during the recording and not after. We've always had
Okay.
those moments where it's like after. It's like, oh no, I forgot to mention XYZ. Like, we gotta go back.
Yeah.
That's why we have the comments section. So then it's like, alright, I'll just type it in the comments. I meant to say this, so which is totally fine. Totally fine. Because we do have one more question, which is what song, music, band represents the color gray?
I should have looked this up before I came on here.
It's okay. I got you.
I would have, but literally, I was taking a shower 5 seconds before I messaged I'll join. Like I
I
finished and I
appreciate
saw
it.
and I was like,
Thank you.
oh, I'll join. So like my hair is also very wet under these two masks.
Oh gosh.
Uh, so gray, a great song, band, so on like that. I'm trying to think. Like off the top of my head, like the only song that mentions the color gray in my head, at least, going off the top of my head, is Taylor Swift's Red. So they talk about. I think one of the lines talks about something's gray in it. I, I have a feeling in my soul
Sure.
that somewhere in there, color gray is mentioned in that song.
We're gonna be
I could
googling
be
it.
wrong.
We're gonna be googling it
Um,
after. No worries.
but for bands, a lot of gray is like like rock metal bands, stuff like
Hmm.
that. Because again, metal.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have nothing else in my head.
Oh, it's all good. Just real quick, couple bands that we have. We have Earl Grey by Fleetwood Mac, which I meant to also say for earlier for food. We have Earl Grey tea as well. Grey by Barlow Girl. That was like one of my favorite songs growing up. Shades of Grey by Billy Joel, and Blue, Red, and Grey by The Who. So add those to your playlist. Alrighty, and that wraps up our episode for today. As always, I like to turn over to the guests and tea sippers, see if they have questions about Cosplay Tea Time, or questions for the viewers out there. What you got?
I have a question.
Okay.
How many shades of gray are there?
I think I looked it up beforehand. How many shades of gray on there? Just in case it ever pops up on Jeopardy. Do, 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 do. Says trying to get one answer, but I see like 20 different answers.
I mean, probably depending on you. But
Because there's like computer something, and then come on, dude.
maybe we should leave that to the audience so then they can put in a bunch of
Homework.
different answers.
Yeah. I'm seeing
And
anywhere
50 small.
between 100 to 136. So that's what's so nice about the color gray. You can just mix like a little bit of white and stuff because I have painted with the color gray, and sometimes you don't use like the same. You'll have like one splotch of like light gray, and then you could add a bit more black to make it like a darker gray, a little bit more white to make it shine more, and then of course like blending and stuff. So hopefully we got folks more interested in the color gray. So lots and lots of shades. We'll put it that way.
More than
And
50.
yes, trying to avoid that. Alrighty. Any other questions, comments?
I'm good.
Good. Alrighty, and I'm good too. So let's wrap this up. So just want to say thank you, Springy, for coming to my rescue and joining me for today's podcast. Always a blast to have you on here. So make sure you go follow, support, adore, love on Springy. Everybody, go support Springy, and as well as our other tea sippers. So Yep, and just want to say, thank you to the viewers out there for watching. Thanks for tuning in to this recording of colors, because pretty soon we're gonna be finishing up the colors and we're gonna move into conventions. So make sure that you type up some conventions that you want us to talk about, either here or in the convention video. That should be out around this time. I gotta go back and look at my calendar later. Later tater. So that's what we're gonna say. Later tater. Alright, so thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow and support Cosplay Tea Time. And until then, stay safe, take care, and keep sipping away. Bye everyone!